You are. Alright, dog. Be free. Okay. Let me know how you're doing. It's great to see you. I am gonna do these whimsical creatures. I'll show you up close what I have so far. This is my equivalent to an outline. Okay. If it feels like I need to get closer to the camera, maybe I will tomorrow. So, yeah. There's no reference for this painting, which makes it very imaginative. The first thing I'm gonna do is mix some colors. I'm looking for my palette knife. I definitely think I'm gonna start out with just painting him and then get a vibe for the rest of the painting. Actually, I'm gonna start out with the background. As you can see, there's not an outline to the painting. It's more of these different shades just kind of coming in and out of the surface. Mixing white, gray, and a little bit of blue. And that's close to the color I want, but it's too dark. I'm gonna add a little bit of pink in it just to warm it up a little. Okay, that's very similar to the gray that we already have, but I think I can use it. Today's been pretty good. I went to the dentist for a cleaning and a checkup. And they did the x-rays all around my head, which was really uncomfortable. And then the cleaning itself, like, I just have very sensitive teeth, so it hurts so much when they clean it. And my teeth are fine, it's just that they're super sensitive. So it is what it is. I'm just gonna be adding a little bit of color, almost glazing it, basically, so that I can build it and shift it easily as I go. That's my method, if you're wondering. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. That didn't totally do what I wanted it to. I need to be bold. I need to be brave with my brush strokes right now. And just kind of go in with this white and allow some of those colors to show through. Okay, let's put in the green. I'm gonna go ahead and just mix a nice shade of green. And then I'm gonna make that several shades from that shade. That's like a darker one, that's lighter, and I think I can do even lighter. A little yellow to just brighten it up. Perfect. I didn't get as much done as I would like to, but I also want to feel good about all of the things I did do today rather than like overcomplicate it, you know? Trying to think of, I definitely need more white. This is such a nice vibe tonight. It's very relaxing, very chill, and very quiet. It's perfect for painting and just having a good time. Let's make this the fog. Basically, when you're painting, a lot of times you kind of have no idea how to do everything all at once. So you kind of have to just work on the things that you do know how to do. And then the answers unfold. But you'll notice I'm working on the background before I actually work on the figures, which is counterintuitive. Normally, you would just go straight to working on the people or the figures throughout the painting rather than focusing on the surrounding. But it's a hack. If you focus on the space first and build up that world, and if that kind of gives your characters more context and more, I'm trying to think of the word. It's like if you took the characters out of the space, it would still work as a composition type of thing. And it makes it easier to work on the characters by the time you have a world built, because you just kind of make them match the world that you've created, if that makes sense. these wacky guys have yet to be named. They've been a part of my art for a long time, and they kind of keep appearing for me. They're just imaginative, I suppose. And I've called them bubble butts in the past, but I don't think that that's the term I want to use. I think if I could come up with a more serious name, that would be ideal. I actually have a larger version of the bubble butts hanging in a gallery. A local gallery, which I feel really good about. Oh shit. Oh shoot. Sorry. Shoot. Not the other word. My bad. Okay. I have to wipe off that red stroke. You can't imagine a name more serious than bubble butts. They're sugar boogers? Dude, you might be right. You might be right. Wow. This is why I love chat and commenters and just like my community, because they always give me good ideas. If you think naming these guys sugar boogers is a good idea, let me know. I mean, it's a little bit more serious than bubble butt. Maybe the bubble butts can be the bad guys. These can be the sugar boogers, and the bubble butts are like they're enemies. Still trying to figure out where I want his hand. I think I want it to be in his pocket. I'm just gonna indicate where I want it. That looks way better, and I kind of am trying to make him look like he's waving high, like hello, but it's a little, I don't know if I like it. I would rather his hand be like strangely dangling than being upright, you know? You would love it as an album cover. Dude, good idea. I'm a musician too, and I was thinking, obviously, if I ever make an album, I'll have to paint the album cover. So I might have to take that idea. Maybe we can all, like, if you pay me, I'll paint you one too. Like, we can all have the bubble butts or the sugar boogers as album covers. The bubble butts. Or no, sorry. But I do think that that's a good idea to name them after my channel name. I mean, it's a good way to kind of tie it all in, really. This looks like he's about to put his hand in his face. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with this guy, because I don't think that he's compositionally in the right place. There needs to be, something needs to happen over here. This side has been frustrating for me. I almost think I just need to take him out completely. Bye-bye. I'm killing him off. He'll be under the painting. And that way there's more of an off-balanced tension, and there's some balloons here, but I mean, should I put a little alien here because there's a little UFOs in the background, because those are going to be UFOs. So maybe what if I put like a conventional looking alien, like looking up at him? Would that throw it off too much? So what do we think about the alien? Is that going to throw it off? I mean, I think it might. I feel like this world needs to stay this world for now, you know? I do want to kind of decide what is happening over here. Like, I don't know how I feel about his hands or anything, you know? Hang on. It's almost harder sometimes to work from your imagination because the answers are only as creative and like they're only going to be as much as what you are. I mean, when you're painting off of a reference, which I do all the time, and that's like fine, you can pull from knowledge that you don't have, whereas like when you're doing a painting from your head, you can only go from like the knowledge that you already have in your mind. And that can be good and bad. You just have to be aware of it, because it'll create a completely different vibe whenever you paint from your imagination, as opposed to, even if it's kind of realistic, you know, it'll just be a totally different vibe. Alright, so this is gonna be a UFO, and I don't want one characteristic about these paintings that I like to do from my imagination is they're very like simplified and not too over detailed. They leave a lot of room for your imagination. And I got a really good response from my whimsical creatures that are in the gallery during the showing. And it's a local gallery, so it's very like low key, very chill. But like I, you know, got a good response from people. People really liked it. And I was surprised. I was like, really? Because this, in my opinion, in the past, it's okay. So I have so many thoughts right now. It's hard to like verbalize them in order. But basically, I was taught in art that the art that you are, your side art, the side thing you're doing, tends to be your main thing later on. That's why you always have to have side projects, because you never know what will become your main thing. Sometimes the thing that we have our focus on currently isn't the main thing. It's counterintuitive. So it's like these whimsical creatures. To connect this to the whimsical creatures, I started doing these in high school, and I won a nationwide award with these characters. Now that particular painting is still in Germany, and I hope I get it shipped back soon. And then the other paintings that I did inspired by that painting have also garnished some attention locally and from friends and family and stuff like that, but like it's always been this thing that I was like, I don't really care about that, you know, like that's not cool, like that's the weird stuff I do, but that's the stuff that people like, right? That's the thing. So I hope that makes sense. A lot of times the thing that we put a lot of focus on, sometimes it can have the opposite effect that we want. Like sometimes if you over focus on something, it's telling the universe that you don't have enough of that, and the universe just gives you more of what you're telling it. It feeds that back to you. But if you don't focus too much on things, if you remain pretty detached, sometimes it's almost like you're telling the universe that you have enough of that, you don't need it. And then the universe gives you more of that because you already have enough, and it gives you more of what you have, kind of. I hope that makes sense. Okay, this is not correct. That definitely needs to continue. Or maybe it should be a loop-de-loop. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. No, I think actually this is good. Or maybe it should go down. Yeah, I like this better. Already, I feel like that looks better. Maybe I could do... I don't know, I just kind of feel like there needs to be more things over here, but maybe I could have like balloons kind of, or air balloons or something, because we have balloons here, we have UFOs here. I can either do another UFO, which might be interesting. It's funny because I drew a UFO yesterday on stream upon request, but I had started this with UFOs in it already, so it's kind of like something that keeps sneaking into my artwork recently. What if I had the UFO go like with its rays, and like, you know how yesterday I drew the cow in the UFO? What if I did one of these dudes in the UFO getting sucked up? I think that's a brilliant idea. And like, he can be looking at the UFO instead of at the camera, and then that makes sense why he would be looking over there, and everybody's kind of looking that way, you know? Definitely. Alright, so hang on. I'm gonna make it like he's pointing and looking. First, I'm changing his eyes. See, this is why it's important to not work on the figure first, and like you can work on it, but like remember that if you work on it too quickly, like if you decide too soon what everything is doing, you might miss out on opportunities for what it could be. That's all I'm saying. So it's like, get that storyline, especially if it's from your head, get that storyline in place before you develop anything. And you can like figure out the storyline as you're painting, like I just did, but like don't make anything too set in stone until those like fundamentals, whether it's the storyline or the structural aspects of everything, like you want to make sure all of that's in place first before you go crazy. So yeah. Alright, so here are the rays coming forth. It almost looks like it wants to take this guy, honestly. maybe it wants to take both, but like maybe I can draw one guy right there and then have him like, we're not sure if he's gonna get taken or not. I think I forgot to cover up the rest of this guy's body. It's kind of nice to not have to look at my phone as a reference. That's usually what I do. You know, I'm very millennial about it. If I had a printer, I should put that on my wish list. Because if I had a printer, I would use printed out pictures, but I don't have a printer, and I don't like going to Staples all the time. So, it is what it is. Alright, I'm gonna reposition his eyes a little bit to be more congruent with the scenery, because I want his eyes to be directed at the whole situation taking place over here. And I might have to kind of restructure his body as well, just a little bit. And I don't even know why I'm making it yellow. Like, here, let's see if I can make it orange, just to throw in another color in there. I can always change it. It's kind of nice to have a bunch of little colors. Like, say if I paint over it, I would definitely leave some of the orange showing through. That's the fun part about painting, is every part of the process can be kind of incorporated into the final thing. Like, I hope that makes sense. I'm a rock star. Thank you. You like galaxies? Stop it right now. Really? I'm about to come out with such cool music. But thank you. Like, that means a lot to me, because I low-key love music. I have a lot of passion for music, but I don't like to practice it. That's the thing. Like, I hate practicing, but I like to play, just not for the sake of getting better, just for doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I've become addicted to collaborating. I don't want to play by myself. I play guitar, but I'm mostly a singer-songwriter. All of my songs I wrote, and even the songs that I'm playing now and collaborating, I'm writing the lyrics. So I'm mostly a writer, lyricist, singer, but I've played guitar since I was a kid, so it's just always kind of taken the back burner of my hobbies, I suppose. But I do write a lot of songs on the guitar, and you know, it's nice to have that there. You know, I mean, I have electric guitar that I'm learning scales on now, and I'm a lefty, that's the other thing. So yeah, I have good muscle memory, you know, like, it's not super hard for me even if I lose my calluses. Okay, maybe if I have his eyes kind of like pointing that way, then I'll have a clearer idea of where I want to I'm one of the best rock singers you've ever heard. Stop it right now. You haven't even heard my rock and roll. Like, I've been getting into blues, rock and roll, like with that blues beat, and it's so good. It's so good. Like, I've played live and everyone's dancing, but the fact that you love what I already have made makes me so incredibly happy, because I'm always on the next thing. I forget to celebrate my wins. Like, I forget to be like, yeah, I do have good music. Like, you're right, I am a good rock singer. Like, but I am a rock and roll girl. Like, I used to be, and I would say I do some folk, but it kind of crosses rock and folk, you know, folk rock. But I like to tell a story with my music. The fact that you love Galaxies is crazy. It is a good song, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I need to reach it. That makes me want to reach out to my producer. I'm gonna text him now because I hope he's doing okay. Yeah, so I just texted my producer and said, hey, someone's complimenting me right now on Galaxies, because he told me that whenever he talks to people that they usually like Galaxies, which is so funny to me because that's definitely not my favorite song that we've come out with, but it is really well done. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it sounds like it could be on a TV show or a movie or something, especially like if there's a throwback scene. Like, I don't know, have you seen Whip It? It seems like it could be on Whip It or something, like a hardcore girl movie, you know. And in my opinion, if a song is cinematic, it's a great song, because I love cinematography. Obviously, like, I know that this isn't a movie, but like, I make videos and it's like a microcosm of movies. Maybe someday I'll be in the movies or be directing a movie. I don't care. Maybe I'll just be like a model in the background because I just got signed with an agency, so it could happen. I mean, if I got casted for that. And my agency does modeling, it does modeling and acting. So I kind of am like, what if I tried acting? Like, what if I was an actor and I didn't know it because I've never tried, you know? I think it's worth trying. I mean, in a way, acting has a lot to do with just like your aura, especially if a lot of actors, they just kind of play themselves. They're not really acting that much. Should we put one of these dudes in here, or should we do a cow like in my other drawing? Like, should we make it like, I think probably a person, just to keep it cohesive, because then there might have to be other cows in the scenery to make it make sense. Alright, I'm going to work on the fog a little bit. The fog in the distance is really important for this. And I also need to work on his hand and stuff. I felt sad because I'm not trying to bring down the vibe, but I have had one of my Discord members got mad at me for, I don't know, he was like, do you even care about me? And he got like mad at me, and I don't know why. And I was like, yes, I do. Like, what's going on? And I was like, you know, I'm sorry if I'm not responsive. Like, you know, Discord stresses me out. So it's like, if I'm not responsive, please don't take it personally. Like, Discord really does stress me out. Like, I still love you guys on there, but like, you can't expect me to like be super great at it, because I'm not. Like, there are times where I'm like, oh my god, I want to upload every day on Discord, and then there are times where I get just totally drained. I'm like an all or nothing person. It's kind of hard for me to find that like middle ground of something. Okay, I'm gonna keep working on back here a little bit. I'm just working on the roller coaster in the back. I'm laying the foundation for the painting to be built. I want to do like a turquoise. Maybe no. Let's do a reddish color. Oh, shoot. There's like a hair in my paint. Gosh dang it. Oof. Alright, all set. I can totally see that though. I don't know why I wanted to work on her skin tone a little bit. Just adding some color. It's interesting because a lot of times the things that we love have a certain innocence to it. You know what I think I want him to do? I don't want him to look at that. I want him to be kind of like not paying attention to it. I kind of keep changing my mind, but that's okay. I think if his arm was like out here and kind of bent down, maybe not so far out like that. Shoot. See, you never mess up, only happy accidents. This is kind of a little mess up right there, but it'll work out in the end. Working on just reshaping his arm I'm really focusing on the hands pretty intently because, hang on, I want it to be like that kind of. Yeah, that's good. Just really kind of contorted looking, 'cause that's what gives it character. What if he was holding the balloon that way? That would be so funny. I think I'm gonna do it. That looks good. Alright, so earlier there was a little bit of a balloon. I don't know, I think that the balloon, maybe if this was the balloon and he was holding it from that hand, I don't know, it might throw it off. No, actually, it gives the balloon a lot more movement, strangely. Because before it's just like straight up and down. Okay. Alright, what color do I want to make the balloon? I think, I mean, I don't know what color I want his shirt to be yet. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to know what color I want the balloons to be if I don't know what color his shirt is. Pants are green, or red, and the grass. I do like the orange, but I think it needs to be a little bit more toned down because it's kind of complementary to the green behind it. And then I think if I put little polka dots on it, I think that that's what I was trying to do earlier. I think that would be really nice. Let's do a turquoise kind of blue-gray polka dot. Yeah, I'm gonna add just a little bit of red into my mixture just to deepen it. That's nice. Yeah, thank you. I think it's gonna look nice. It'll mimic some of the other circular patterns going on. I'm glad you like it. I think it's pretty cool too. I mean, I think it's just we're gonna see how it comes together. I think I could do a lot of these. We'll see what kind of reaction I get. Not that it's all about that, but you know, feedback is important. Negative or positive. It's all just important information that you can utilize to your advantage. Let's make his shorts blue and longer than the other guy's shorts. They're more like capris. That might have been too bright, but I can always just tone it down once it dries by painting over it. This is good too, just doing it while it's wet. I just have to layer on the paint. It's better to have too much paint on your canvas than not enough. You gotta be willing to take risks. I mean, that honestly looks really good. I'm gonna do more of that. It's like another shade of green. Let's do a little bit of a more gray green in here. I kind of actually like a little bit of the contrast between bright greens and grayer, more gray greens. Gray is honestly one of my favorite colors to paint with. It's very moody and it sets a tone. Maybe this can have like an exact location that it's landing. That's a good idea. It's early enough in the process where I can kind of move things around to make it like literally hitting the ground. I mean, it doesn't look super bright right now, but I think I can make that look like a bright spot by making the surrounding much darker. Hang on. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's already getting moody and just the vibe I'm going for. Because we don't want it to be overly happy, because then it's not nuanced. Just like we don't want the characters to be fully cartoon or fully animated. That push and pull between the two makes it interesting, which is why sometimes you'll see paintings in the museum that looks almost childlike, but it's not a cartoon. That's actually a good thing, because most people go all realism or all cartoon, but if you have that balance between the two, it's more interesting and kind of dreamlike as well. Now I'm going to add just a little contrast back here between the sky and the, what do you call it? I don't know what this is. What am I painting? Oh my god. Roller coaster. There we go. I've been listening to a really good book called Success Principles. It's by the same guy who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul. And it's really teaching me a lot. And so I'm really excited to implement some of the things that I've been learning from the Success Principles. Anyone can be successful. That's what I'm learning. You just can't give up. I mean, that's not the only thing, but that's one of the main things, is a lot of people give up before they're actually successful. Like right before they're about to pop off, they quit, you know? Which is why I'm not gonna quit anything I've started. I'm gonna keep going. I'm not a quitter. I just find a way to make it work. Shoot. That wasn't really supposed to happen. Whatever. I'm just gonna kind of develop the eyes a little bit. I want to kind of forget my last painting and make this fully its own painting. And that's the thing about art. Sometimes you kind of get stuck in these ruts because you keep doing the same thing, and it's always really, you don't know what your possibilities are if you don't try something new, right? You gotta take a risk. And you know what will happen if you keep doing what you've been doing, right? So you have to just take a risk, try something new. I lived in Germany, but now I am in the States, and I like living in the States, honestly. I don't want to live anywhere else. I'm not cool. I mean, I just talked about doing all these things that you're not sure about, but like I'm open to traveling someplace, but like I don't like feeling like I'm a foreigner somewhere. Like I like feeling as though I totally belong where I'm supposed to be, and I felt whenever I was in Germany, because everything was just so German, like from the language to the culture to everything. I definitely experienced culture shock, but I don't know what culture shock is, but I'm sure I had it because I lived there, you know? So I think I was probably culture shocked. Yeah. Okay. My hair keeps getting in it. I need to like pin it back or something. Okay, that looks good. Interesting. I don't know if I want the eyes to be so close together. I'm breaking them apart a little. I don't want to work on his face too much because I kind of like the fact that it's a little bit open and stuff. I don't know. I'm at least creating some type of base for the hair, you know, like I don't want to forget the hair. It's an important element of the whole thing. It's like spiky and sparse. Sparse and spiky. It's funny. Painting is a lot about adding the right contrast in the right places. I feel like I'm dipping into my black a little bit too much. I'm gonna dip into my other colors over here. Let's make a rosy pink. Let's just take a little bit of that. And then it's basically pink and white. And then maybe a little bit of blue. Just to kind of cool it up. Ow, that hurt my ears. Okay. That looks good. Okay, I'm just adding, I don't want it to feel like I just added polka dots in the hair, like this is the thing. And you kind of have to make it somewhat cohesive, you know, like, alright, so we've got a little bit of pink. Now, a little bit of I don't know what color that is, but it's almost just something in between pink and blue. I'm running out of my blue. Let's just kind of add that in there. Honestly, that's a really good effect. I like that. I'm just gonna do a little bit of that, just mess it up a little. Holy shit, that's a lot. Okay, I love it. It broke me out of my comfort zone. I think I can work with it. Okay, I think we can do something with this. Okay. If your art doesn't excite you like that, you're not doing it right. You have to get to a point with your painting where you are willing to kind of, I don't know, break those boundaries in order to make it better, you know? If you don't do that, it will only be mediocre. It's a mindset. And most of painting And art is a full-on mindset. It's not about the technique, because people can like learn techniques pretty easily just by finding, like, painting with other people, being in art classes, things like that. But like, you know, until you really kind of find your voice, it's like you're just copying people, basically. And I'm actually pretty good at copying, I would say, and it's really just interesting. I don't know, like, I can copy pretty much anything. You know, like, I would say, yeah, I mean, there's never been a painting that I was like, oh, I don't think I could do something pretty similar to that, like in terms of replicating something similar. But there are some things out there that I wouldn't have the motivation to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I used to look at a Renaissance painting and be so blown away. Now I'm more blown away at like someone's creativity, because I realize that anyone can kind of replicate something, and like, that's really cool. But like, what about adding your own flavor to that? Like, how do you switch it up, you know? I think that that's why there's, you know, it's interesting though, because people can find success pretty much in so many different ways now in the world. You really don't have to like do things in a conventional way to like get success. You know, there's so many different ways with the internet and stuff. Like, I mean, even just selling on eBay or something, like, I don't know, I sometimes I feel myself just kind of speaking Gary Vee, because I don't know, something about him just kind of motivates me, and I agree with him. I'm like, yeah. If you know, you know. Honestly, I'm really enjoying what this texture is doing to the whole thing. It's good to try to improve yourself, because you have full control over who you are. And, you know, you don't have to buy into this lie that life gets worse as you get older. No. There's a lot of people who they get better as they get older. I'm definitely one of them, because I don't know. I just envision that for myself. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep getting better. It's a choice. Like, it's something I want to do. But it's uncomfortable sometimes, but it's worth it. I like this technique because it's very just cool. Just really, really cool. Ow, it hurts my ears though, I'm not gonna lie. Hi, it's good to see you. Oh. Wow, okay. I like how that brings in the light so much more. It looks so much more effervescent. Like, I can't stand it, how much I love it right now. Hang on. I gotta do some of that technique down here. It's very, like, material. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if that should be light or if I want to keep it a little bit. No, I think I should brighten it just a bit right there. Hang on. Let's see. Whoa. This did something there, you know? Oh, my dog's wants my attention. Poor baby. Aw. Here, I'm just gonna say hi to him. Hang on, I'm gonna mute. Isn't he cute? Oh, Romeo. He's such a good boy. I love him. What? Sorry, I flashed the camera. Okay. Alright, go. Romeo, go. Get away. He's very vocal. That's like his thing. Alright, Romeo. I probably shouldn't have rewarded him by bringing him in here. You know? Alright. His hand looks really big. Like, way too big. Man, I don't remember it being this hard to paint them. But it's been a long time since I've seriously painted them. Like these dudes. I mean, it looks like the hand is literally melting right now. It's not good. I can't decide what to do with it. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to figure that one out later. Honestly. Because I think I want to go and maybe, I don't know, maybe I can just sit here and look at it and think about it for a second, because it's not like I need to rush it necessarily, you know? I can tell I'm just, I shifted it slightly, it looks better, and I just kind of need to crop it out better, but I should wait till it dries. But also kind of creating some of that texture is nice, so I'm not totally mad at it either. I think it needs to be flipped upside down. I kind of like how these guys are in the distance because it makes sense visually, but I do think this one needs to be brought out a little more, but not as much as him. So there's a little bit of a hierarchy. It's interesting because like I could do some things in here, like it doesn't necessarily have to be what I thought it was gonna be, you know? I have to leave room for it to kind of manifest in its own way. Romeo, be quiet. But he's so cute. I mean, I love him, but he needs to go away. Those are the best chips I've ever freaking had in my life. I need more of that. Immediately. Seriously, right now, I gotta get more to eat these. They're the best chips in the freaking world. What's happening here? Okay, I'm just picking out over here. Hello. Okay, I know what I'm missing. It's blue. I had a funny thought, but I'm just gonna dismiss it. All right. Nice. Really pretty. Trying to decide if I want these feet to be like small wispy feet or like bigger boots, you know, because I'm thinking some of them would look cool with like big boots, you know, maybe like this one could be wispy and like these ones can be like more heavy, I guess. Just try to ignore my dog, he's fine. He's just whining outside my door. I like how this at least feels more grounded. Okay, hang on. You know, it's interesting because my last whimsical painting like this, it wasn't finished, but like, they liked that. It was a non-finished look, which I think is interesting. I mean, I never even considered something that wasn't finished. I never thought that a non-finished, but if you think of it, like an unfinished quality can have a certain charm if you do it right, you know? I know the dogs really miss me, so both of the dogs are like trying to get me to like hang out with them. I need the mouth. They're slightly creepy, but slightly charming at the same time. Or so I would hope. I think my back popped just then. Just adding a few little touches. Color here and there. Okay. It has a visceral edge to it. Thank you. What does visceral mean? I assumed it was good. You know, it sounds good. Edge is definitely good. I mean, for sure, for sure. I think there's something really magical there. Honestly, it's the inward, outwardly expressed, right? Like it's quite cool. I like it. I feel like it would be interesting if there was a little ruffle here, you know? Just, or I don't know if it's a ruffle, more of a tassel. I don't know, we'll see. Just something a little unexpected. turn these into boots, but the paint is still a bit wet, so I don't want to muddy up the work I've already done. What would I name this? I don't know. What's a good idea? Maybe I don't know. I can't think about the name right now. I have to think about what it is. You know, like I have to think about the what it physically will be in space. That's what's crazy about paintings. It's just there. Alright, so that looks weird. I do not like that. Better, but we'll see what happens with these balloons. Right now they're like a collection of warm colors. I think popping in a blue would be wise. And then maybe like a straggling. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but there's something very like bohemian about just sketching in things, and then if you take it away, cool, you know, like, I don't know. Okay. Very nice. Yeah, a painting is all about the right balance of colors and shapes, and you know, whether someone likes the subject matter or not is personal preference, and you can never really control that. Like, some people will like your art, some people won't. I mean, I've had people say that they don't like my art, and that's fine, you know, it's fair. You have a right to not like it, and I respect it. Some days I don't like it too, so. I think I remain relatively detached because I don't know. I just kind of do it and don't overthink it. Even if you're somebody who does bad art, if you do art, that's something, right? Really, really bad art can be good if you do it big enough. You just have to be brave and go for it, because if it garnishes enough feedback, good or bad, or both, in a way, you made it. Because with your piece, because that's what art is kind of about. Like, it's a shame that so many of my art pieces are just in my parents' basement or attic or whatever, but also sometimes it's just not their time. Like, sometimes I'll hold on to a painting forever and then eventually it sells, you know, and it's like either it speaks to you or it doesn't, and if it doesn't, that's okay. I wonder what balloon color that should be. I feel like I'm missing a color. Maybe it's orange? I mean, I do kind of like that. I like how it kind of echoes this, but I need to shift them from each other a little bit so they're not too identical. But I feel like that's going to be in my next painting session. If you feed your soul, that's all that matters. That's true. You're right. It's all about knowing what you need. I think. I'm not sure. Sometimes I don't know if I'm feeding my soul or not. Like, sometimes I wonder if I need to just, I don't know, go running or something. I mean, my dad runs. Wow, I got so much paint on my hands just then. Okay. I'm gonna show you what this looks like up close so far. It came a long way tonight. It's not done, but there's something there for sure, in my opinion. What do you think? Here. That's an up close. Maybe I can get my up close camera, but then I have to kind of toggle between the two. And that can be annoying. But I like it so far, for sure. Yay! Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you guys got to hang out with me while we were painting this. I appreciate it. I think it has some charm so far. I am really excited about it. I think that there's some things I can do to it. Like in here. There's a few things that I can do to level it up. Part of me wants to do it right now, but I think I can wait till tomorrow to finish it and just kind of think about it for a little bit. Like, this needs to be, you know, it's interesting because this almost looks like a planet, and I kind of like it more as a planet than a balloon. Dude, that has to happen. That's a must. Okay, hang on. I'm trying not to use too much paint because, like, look at all the paint that I'm wasting. And I also need to figure out a light source. I mean, I think the light source is from over here. No, it's more of a backlit, right? Because it's like low lit, and then there's this UFO kind of coming through. I'll figure out the light source later. I'm really unsure about it at the moment. But I just want to tie up a few loose ends because I'm turning this balloon into a planet, because I think that that would be way more clever, because it kind of echoes what I'm doing here with the sorry, I can't do both. Such a tiny little UFO. Okay, I'm really not sure about this one. I think I can add some of these little things I have in mind, just throw it in there, you know, and if I want to change it, I will. But you have to have something to kind of respond to. not sure if that's giving, because now it's gonna, I feel like instead of one of the planet, it needs to be a moon. Like, not a planet with the rings, but it's okay, because whatever I just did, I'm just working it in. Like, it's just a glowing moon now. Okay, that looks better. I have to make a few. It's, you know, it needs some work, but there's something there for sure. I just need to brighten it up a little bit. And then I might just keep it a little bit ambiance, because it could be a sun, I suppose. I'm really not sure what it wants to be right now, and that's okay. You know, nuanced is good. You don't want to force it. It's emerging from nothingness, so it could change its mind somewhere in there. I'm not sure though what's happening. I feel like that dark, like, gray in here just, okay, it needs to be more solid in the center. Whatever it is, moon, sun, who cares? It needs to be solid in the center. Okay, that somehow looks more like something is glowing. And it's a bit more believable. Do you think I need to juxtapose it with a grayness? Just kind of mix the yellow into the gray and let there be a mingling of the warm and the cool. It's kind of getting a bit green. I have to be careful of that. I might add those balloons back in, but I think for now it's best to just leave them out. I like these brush strokes. They're really nice. Alright. Okay. Just trying to mix that right shade of purple. Definitely needs to be whiter than that, like not so dark. Nice. I like the little, I feel like his hair's a bit thick for my preference. It just needs to be broken up a little bit. It needs to be stringier. I don't know. I don't want to overdo it, whatever it is that I'm doing. Now it feels like it's kind of disappeared a bit. Maybe I need to add, I feel like I need to add these rich browns in there, like, okay, here's, kind of color. I don't know. Okay, so I think I'm taking a break and I'm gonna go eat, but I hope you liked this. I'm definitely gonna work on it. Like, it's kind of cute. It's cool. It needs something though. It's not done, but I'm into it. Thank you so much for being here and, just making art with me and supporting my journey and creative process. It's just really sweet of you. And I am probably gonna just go eat my food and chill out tonight. I think I just need to step away from this painting and then think about it later. But there's something cool about it. I'm into it. There's some interesting things happening. I like that it's not over articulated. It's still very open and there's lots of room for possibility. So that's nice. It's a good place to be.